All right. Well, hey, Durango Vineyard family, DJ here. And specifically, this email is going to, this video is going to volunteers at the Vineyard. And I was thinking about you this week, just that it's been about 10 weeks since we gathered together in person. And our church has largely succeeded because of the volunteers at the Vineyard. There's about 100 of you that are giving all kinds of energy and effort each week on a normal church week to help the nursery run and help the kids ministry run and set up and tear down and worship and all the number of things that we do. And I was just thinking about this season being such a different one and the feeling that we can feel disconnected from each other. And then also I've been thinking about Ecclesiastes 3 that says there's a time for everything. How in the world do we take advantage of this time? So a few months ago, I heard from Kevin Orrick through a men's group that we're both a part of. Kevin's a good friend, and he is here in town, and he's also on the Zoom call. I think, Kevin, you're here. I don't know if we can see you yet, but you're here.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I can see you.
Okay, good. Okay. So, and anyway, Kevin has taken a different approach to this season that I just wanted to encourage both of you by. So Kevin, tell us about the desert and why you decided to seek it.
Well, I'll tell you what, and it keeps calling me back too. It's I was texting my mom and I said, other than Israel, this is like the place that I want to just go back over and over and over to. And what I've been doing, DJ, as I shared with you and some of the guys, is I really feel like this is a time for me anyway to be alone with the Lord. And, you know, obviously that's what they're all encouraging anyway. So what I've been doing, and Debbie, my wife, has encouraged me to do this one day a week. I've been getting in the car and I drive a couple of hours south. You know, we have the best desert probably in the world in some of the places south of here. And DJ, what I've been doing is I've just been taking a Bible and plenty of water. Make sure you do that. And just walking in the Bisty Badlands or over at Angel Peak, just these places that are real deserty where I can just be with the Lord, be alone, and really not have other distractions. And it's been amazing. You know, when you pursue the Lord, as you know, when you lean into the Lord and say, Lord, speak to me, grow me, he's faithful. He brings things up that really just need to be dealt with between you and him.
Yeah, it really resonated with me that in a season where we all want to get back, and especially now, just to be honest, it's Thursday, the 21st of March. It's more than 2 months since everything got locked down.
It's the 21st of May.
That's right. That's May. Yeah. It's like,
see,
it's like,
what happened to the time?
Right. It is. And I'm just craving to like, just get back to normal. And yet I sense that a lot of the, I don't know, what I see on Facebook, I guess, is this misdirected sense of energy towards people should stop controlling me and telling me what I have to do. When all along Jesus was able to make opportunities, or, you know, basically he was able to see the time and figuring out what God was inviting him into.
Well, and if you look at what Jesus did first, as he was starting his ministry, the first thing he did was he went to the wilderness. And it said, you know, the Holy Spirit brought him into the wilderness. So that was God's will that he be separate. And actually it was also God's will that that he had the encounter with Satan, because those temptations, those things that were offered to Jesus only made him grow more. Even though he was God, it made him grow more. And DJ, I've been thinking about it as I go out. You know, just about every major man of faith, man or woman of faith in the Bible had wilderness experience. Whether it's Moses, whether it's Jesus, you know, you look at Elijah for 3.5 years being fed by crows, you know, out in the desert. These are growth experiences, and I think sometimes for all of us, including me, we assume our Christianity has something to do with community all the time, and that's true. But really, to be useful in community, at least for me, I have to have some time alone with the Lord. I have to know him first so I can know you. You know?
Let me ask you, Kevin, why do we resist the desert? What do you think?
Well, for me anyway, and I shared this at Masters, man, for me, I think sometimes the desert's a little too naked and alone with the Lord,
That's right.
because, when I got out there, I really did. I had been reading in John 16 about what the Holy Spirit does, and he does three things. Jesus explained when he would send the Holy Spirit would do three things. One is it would convict of sin. Two, the Holy Spirit would then declare righteousness.
Yeah.
And then the third is he would judge the ruler of the darkness of this world, the ruler of this world. And I think we forget that the ruler of this world is Satan, and he doesn't want you to have desert time with the Lord. He wants you distracted. And that's what happened to me, DJ. I got out, and I was very honest with the men's group the other day that what the Lord brought to mind. I said, Lord, well, if you're revealing sin, what is it that's keeping me from you? And he's worthy to do that. And he was very gentle about it. And I didn't really even want to deal with what he was bringing up right off the bat. But I'm in the desert. There's nowhere else to go. So I just kept thinking. And I couldn't distract myself. And sure enough, 10 or 15 minutes later, just like, when the rich young man came to Jesus and he says, well, he ran up to him, he bowed, he said, what do I do to come into the kingdom? He seemed very eager, but Jesus knew there was something blocking him. He said, give up your riches. But Jesus is not telling all of us to give up our riches. He's telling us give up anything that would keep us from him. And that's what he did with me. He said, Kev, there's something in your life that if you get rid of that, then that's the next step toward me.
Yeah.
But he lets you not get rid of it until you're ready. And I realized after going to the desert that last time that the rich young man gets to come back. The rich young man, I'm hoping, actually thought about it and came back and said, okay, Lord, whatever.
What a cool perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, it was for me. It was revelation. I never looked at that story like that until the Lord did it with me. Because I walked away sad, just like he did, for about 10 minutes. And then I came back and I said, no, it's worth it.
I want what you have. See, I think it's so key. In this faith journey, we want to do it. It's almost like the light version of an app. You don't pay the money and you don't get all the features, kind of thing. And it's like, that's how we do our faith unintentionally.
That's a good way of thinking
we're like
about
trying to be, sell God short or something. There's so many cares of this world. And there are so many things we want to do that if we're not careful, what we find is it drowns out the voice of the Lord. And man, I just think of what if our church and all the church, what if we use this season rather than directing our anger towards the government or towards any official or towards whatever, what if we directed our attention towards God? And what if we just dug in and listened and went to the desert in our own way? I love that story, Kevin.
And the desert, it hit me the other day, DJ. The desert can be just going and sitting in your car and praying, but you have to be away from other people and the ability to be distracted.
Yeah. I think of the wilderness, and what is it? It's just a removal of people. Because actually, a lot of the wilderness is beautiful. It's not like it's all desolate in a negative way. So, well, anyway, that's my encouragement for you, Durango Vineyard family. And hey, Kevin, thank you for using your story, your experience to encourage us.
Well, thank you for asking me, DJ. I really appreciate everything that you all do.
Yeah, absolutely. God bless you.
All right.
All right.
Too.
Adios.
Adios.